Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to unravel a twisting saga from Port Charles, but with a little flair. We'll dig into each development step by step, except we're taking the story in reverse. If you love unexpected turns and dramatic showdowns, buckle up. From Lucas Jones's guilt to Sonny Corinthos's fatherly advice, we're going to cover it all with some extra details and analysis sprinkled in. Let's dive right in. First up, let's talk about Lucas Jones. He's been struggling to contain his anger, and it seems he finally reached a boiling point. After clashing with Willow Corinthos over her romantic entanglements, Lucas was left feeling like he'd crossed a line he shouldn't have. Unable to sit with the guilt, he decided to open up to his aunt, Ava Jerome. Ava, known around town for her complicated family history and formidable demeanor, surprisingly became a source of solace for Lucas in this moment. She reminded him that no one's perfect in Port Charles, least of all the Jeromes, and that harboring anger only leads to more pain. Ava also offered a bit of uncharacteristic compassion, urging Lucas to channel his frustration into something more productive, especially since Wiley Corinthos' stability was at the heart of his concerns. This talk with Ava didn't erase Lucas's regret, but it did plant the seed for him to approach future confrontations with more caution. Still, the repercussions of his outburst are bound to echo in the days ahead. Sliding back a step in our tale, Sonny Corinthos was caught in a chat with Kristina Corinthos Davis about the exciting transformation she's cooking up for Charlie's pub. Gone are the days of a simple neighborhood watering hole. Kristina wants to turn Charlie's into a place that fosters community connections and social activism. She even floated the idea of hosting fundraisers, themed events, and open mic nights to bring fresh energy into the establishment. Sonny, always the supportive dad, despite his own complicated past, expressed faith in Kristina's capabilities. He recognized that while she's had her fair share of missteps, this new project could be her shot at proving her entrepreneurial and managerial skills. Some naysayers doubt whether Kristina can pull it off without a hitch, but Sonny shrugged off their skepticism. He's seen Kristina's passion firsthand, and he believes the pub's revamp might be the perfect outlet for all that creativity. Of course, no Corinthos storyline is free from drama, so it's likely that tensions, particularly with Kristina's sister, Molly, could eventually flare up over the direction of Charlie's pub. Stay tuned, folks, because Port Charles is rarely short on fireworks. Not long before that, Sonny had another notable conversation, this time with Laura Collins. Laura had every reason to be beaming with pride after reuniting with her daughter Lulu Spencer, who's been through a roller coaster of emotions lately. However, beneath the celebratory air, a seed of anxiety was growing. Lulu had embarked on a solo mission that looked riskier than initially anticipated. Valentin Cassadine, known for keeping his cards close, still had no idea Lulu might show up unannounced, and neither did Charlotte Cassadine. If Lulu strays into dangerous territory without a proper plan, she could end up in hot water fast, especially if guards are lurking nearby or if Valentin suspects foul play. Sonny advised Laura to keep her eyes peeled for any sudden changes. As a mother herself, Laura felt torn between letting Lulu spread her wings and stepping in to make sure she doesn't fly too close to the sun. We all know that in Port Charles, a seemingly benign reunion can spiral into a life or death situation. Laura is hoping to avoid that fate for her daughter. Shifting to another layer of the Spencer family drama, Rocco Falconeri found himself struggling under the weight of a big secret. Lulu had warned him not to reveal her plans to meet Charlotte one-on-one, so he was left carrying the burden of potential betrayal. The kid did his best to honor his mother's request, but he's not exactly a seasoned liar, and when Dante Falconeri started asking pointed questions, Rocco's nerves kicked into high gear. Dante, who's been around the block as a detective, sensed that something was off. His paternal instincts flared when he noticed Rocco's uneasy glances and incomplete answers. Eventually, a few bits of truth slipped out, enough for Dante to piece together Lulu's quiet departure. Alarmed, Dante scrambled to figure out how to protect Lulu without triggering a standoff. This budding crisis demonstrates just how swiftly complications can emerge in Port Charles. Even the best-laid plans can unravel in the blink of an eye. Before Rocco felt the pressure, Jack Brennan received a cryptic phone update that sent him into action mode. Ever the opportunist, Brennan had been monitoring Charlotte's phone activity, partly to keep tabs on her location. When a suspicious clue came through, he immediately issued urgent orders to his associates, though precisely what those orders entailed remains unclear. In typical Brennan fashion, he did this under a veil of secrecy, leaving everyone else to wonder whether his motives are purely altruistic or if there's something more self-serving in play. Given that Charlotte had just reached out to Lulu, the timing of Brennan's reaction raises eyebrows. Could he be orchestrating a rescue mission, or is he positioning himself to gain an advantage over Valentine? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, interference from Brennan could blow up Lulu's plan for a peaceful mother-daughter reunion. Right before Brennan sprang into action, Josslyn Jax was trying to pick up the pieces in the aftermath of Dex Heller's passing. Emotions have been running high for Joss, and she's been desperate for guidance from anyone who'll offer it. In a twist no one saw coming, it seems that Brennan may have been the one to step up with sage words of advice. Odd pairing, right? According to whispers around town, Brennan urged Josslyn to channel her grief into something constructive, rather than letting it consume her. It's an unusual sight, given Brennan's reputation, but stranger alliances have formed in Port Charles over far less. Whether this pep talk truly helps Josslyn move on from the tragedy remains to be seen, but at least she now has a glimmer of hope and a new perspective on how to navigate her future. Next on the list, we have Brooklyn Quartermain and Harrison Chase, who've been on a prolonged mission to start a family. Frustration has been mounting as they discover their attempts to conceive haven't been working as quickly as they'd hoped. Brooklyn was initially convinced that Chase wanted to give up entirely, but it turns out he's simply looking to change tactics. During a heartfelt discussion, Chase pitched the idea of seeking medical guidance to explore potential fertility alternatives. He stressed that stepping outside their comfort zone might be the key to unlocking new possibilities. Brooklyn, though a bit hesitant at first, realized that staying on their current path could mean months, or even years, of continued disappointment. Both agreed that visiting a specialist could be a crucial next step. Fans of the couple are already buzzing with theories. Will they learn about an underlying issue, or could some cutting-edge treatment be their answer? In Port Charles, anything is possible, especially when it comes to new medical miracles. Rewinding a bit further, we reach a poignant moment for Willow Corinthos. After a heated confrontation with Lucas, who blamed her for dismantling the life she and Michael built with Wiley, Willow turned to Drew Quartermain for solace. Drew offered a comforting embrace that did more than console Willow, it also set Nina Reeves's eyes ablaze with worry. Nina, who's never been one to stand on the sidelines, grew increasingly suspicious upon witnessing Willow and Drew's intimate moment. Worried that their bond was growing too close for comfort, Nina wondered if she needed to intervene. Her protective nature clashed with her desire to see Willow find happiness, creating an internal tug-of-war. On one hand, Nina dreaded the possibility of Willow drifting away from Michael. On the other hand, she feared a brewing romance might upend everyone's lives. With Nina's track record, we can expect her to take matters into her own hands, subtly or otherwise. Now, we shift to an earlier scene where Willow walked into Nina's apartment, only to face an onslaught from Lucas Jones. Incensed by what he perceived as Willow's betrayal of Michael, Lucas unleashed a torrent of anger, blaming her for the chaos unraveling around Wiley. He insisted that Willow and Drew's actions undermined the stable environment the Corinthos family had worked so hard to create. Willow tried to defend herself, emphasizing that her involvement with Drew was never her intention. She also pointed out that life is complicated, especially in Port Charles, and that no one is free from missteps. Lucas, however, wasn't having it, asserting that both Willow and Drew need to own their part in this messy affair. Tension soared, leaving Nina deeply unsettled by the discord playing out in her own living room. It was a telling moment, one that underscored how high the emotional stakes have gotten, especially with a child like Wiley caught in the crossfire. Finally, let's rewind to the very beginning, where the seeds of doubt and tension first sprouted. Jason Morgan, ever vigilant, reasserted his lack of trust in Jack Brennan. Carly Spencer, however, insisted on forming her own conclusions about the mysterious man. Meanwhile, Jason had another pressing matter to deal with: Michael Corinthos's growing uncertainty about his marriage. Michael confessed to Jason that although he's still deeply in love with Willow, he can't shake the feeling that he might be losing her to Drew Quartermaine. Amid all the upheaval, Dex Heller's death, Willow's rumored betrayal, and friction with Lucas, the question of whether Michael should step aside and let Drew pursue a romance with Willow came to the forefront. Jason listened intently, offering Michael the stoic support he's known for. This moment set the stage for all the heartache, plotting, and revelations that would ripple through Port Charles in the coming days. And there you have it, a thorough exploration of Port Charles's latest drama, in reverse. From Lucas's eruption of guilt to Jason Morgan's unwavering suspicions, the town is buzzing with enough tension to keep us all glued to our screens. Will Lulu's plan go sideways, or can she negotiate a peaceful reunion? Can Brooke, Lynn, and Chase find their path to parenthood? And how will Willow's complicated feelings with Drew impact everyone else? One thing's for sure, Port Charles never runs short on jaw-dropping twists. Next, we're taking a deep dive into a controversial situation involving a beloved General Hospital alum and several Hollywood heavyweights. We'll be flipping the script by starting from the end of the story and tracing our way back to the beginning. It's a juicy one, so grab your snacks and settle in for all the details on Amber Tamblyn, Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, and a lawsuit that's sending shockwaves through the entertainment industry. A standout show of unity and praise. Let's begin with a powerful conclusion. Amber Tamblyn, best known to many General Hospital fans as Emily Quartermaine, recently joined forces with her fellow sisterhood of the Traveling Pants co-stars to applaud and support Blake Lively. In an emotional and resolute statement shared on social media, these longtime friends expressed their unwavering belief in Lively's courage, particularly for standing up for herself during the making of It Ends With Us, and for continuing that battle through a high-profile lawsuit. Calling attention to her bravery, they ended their message by praising Lively for refusing to stay silent when she felt her rights and safety were compromised. This moment of solidarity among the sisterhood actresses is a testament to how deeply their bond runs off-screen as well. For Tamblyn, it's another way of showcasing her ongoing commitment to championing women's voices, whether in the realm of daytime soaps or major motion pictures. The message wasn't just a simple "we stand with you" note, it felt like a rallying cry that underscores the significance of women supporting each other in Hollywood, especially when facing serious allegations of misconduct and smear campaigns. Exposing exploitation, harsh realities, and astounding hypocrisy. Rewinding a little, we find ourselves at the heart of the group's statement, which passionately condemned what they described as the unabashed exploitation of domestic violence survivors. According to their joint announcement, they couldn't stand by while such experiences were seemingly weaponized as part of a broader strategy to silence someone who merely sought a safer work environment. The women's words hit hard, calling out that astounding hypocrisy of professing empathy for domestic violence victims on one hand, while allegedly punishing a star who dared to speak up for herself on the other. It's a wake-up call for many fans who might not realize the complexity behind the scenes of film productions. How can a movie intended to highlight domestic abuse simultaneously participate in alleged efforts to discredit a woman who raised concerns? That's the question driving public outrage, and it's one that Tamblyn and her co-stars want Hollywood to answer. A sisterhood takes a stand: Tamblyn, Ferreira, and Bledel. Stepping back another moment, we see where Amber Tamblyn enters the fray front and center. She's joined by America Ferreira and Alexis Bledel, two prominent names tied to the sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. All three took to social media in a public show of unity for Blake Lively. Their statement is a striking reminder that the friendships forged on set can transcend mere co-stardom. The trio emphasized that they've known Blake Lively for over 2 decades, calling themselves not just friends but sisters. During It Ends With Us, Lively reportedly made multiple attempts to ensure a secure work setting for herself and for everyone else involved. Tamblyn and the others were appalled, to use their words, when they learned of an alleged strategic move to tarnish Lively's name in retaliation. It isn't every day that you see major Hollywood figures speak so bluntly about potential PR smear tactics. That transparency is what makes this collective stance resonate so powerfully with fans and industry observers. Unraveling the lawsuit, Baldoni, Wayfarer Studios, and the named defendants. Before arriving at this show of solidarity, we must delve into the meaty part of the lawsuit. Blake Lively has filed serious allegations against Justin Baldoni, her co-star and director on It Ends With Us, and she isn't stopping there. The legal complaint points a finger at Wayfarer Studios, co-founded by Baldoni and Steve Sarowitz, as well as James Heath, one of the lead producers on the film. But wait, there's more. Several public relations professionals are also listed in the suit, including Jed Wallace, Melissa Nathan, and Jennifer Abel. Lively claims these individuals banded together to orchestrate a smear campaign intended to damage her reputation. Their alleged actions reportedly came in response to Lively speaking out about what she says was sexual harassment on set. Since these revelations broke, Baldoni's agent has apparently severed ties with him, raising further questions about his future in the entertainment world. It's a comprehensive list of defendants, suggesting that the case could have far-reaching implications for how behind-the-scenes conflicts are handled in Hollywood moving forward. Domestic violence on screen and an alleged feud off-screen. Taking another step back, we uncover details about the movie itself. It Ends With Us, a film adaptation tackling the sensitive subject of domestic violence. While the project aimed to bring awareness to a critical issue, ironically, it also became ground zero for alleged behind-the-scenes turmoil between Lively and Baldoni. According to rumors, tensions simmered for quite some time, culminating in Lively launching her sexual harassment suit. What's particularly disconcerting for fans is the disconnect between the film's message and the alleged reality of what took place on set. It's certainly not the first time a socially conscious project has been overshadowed by controversy, but this situation feels all the more impactful given the film's theme. If the allegations prove true, then the moral weight of the movie may be undone by real-world accusations of misconduct, forcing audiences and the industry at large to question the sincerity of those involved in telling stories about abuse. The backstory: Amber Tamblyn's roots and Hollywood path. Now, let's wind all the way to where it began, back in the world of General Hospital, where Amber Tamblyn once portrayed Emily Quartermaine, making her mark on daytime television in 1995. Her role as Emily opened doors for Tamblyn, leading to a successful career across multiple entertainment mediums. After leaving Port Charles behind, she landed parts in primetime shows and feature films, eventually finding mainstream fame through the sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Since then, Tamblyn has evolved into more than just an actress. She's also a published author and outspoken advocate, often addressing women's rights and social issues. Despite her wide-ranging career, it seems she's never fully severed ties with her soap opera roots, as evidenced by her fond reflections on her GH days. Fans of both the daytime drama and Tamblyn's subsequent work often relish in the nostalgia of watching her grow from a young actress into a multi-talented public figure. Her willingness to defend Blake Lively now reflects that same sense of loyalty and moral clarity that likely drew fans to her in the first place. Looking ahead, ripples across Hollywood. Concluding our journey, it's evident that this story is far from over. The lawsuit's outcome could send shockwaves through Hollywood, particularly if it reveals systemic failures to protect actors who come forward with serious allegations. Meanwhile, fans of Amber Tamblyn, Blake Lively, and General Hospital continue to watch and weigh in on social media, offering their thoughts, prayers, and sometimes pointed criticisms. No one knows exactly how this legal battle will end, but one thing is certain: the conversation it has sparked is vital. It forces us to reassess the entertainment industry's handling of claims related to sexual harassment and public image battles. And as the sisterhood statement underscores, solidarity among women in this sphere can be a powerful force, one capable of challenging long-standing norms and insisting on a safer, more respectful environment for everyone. Whether you're tuning in for the drama or genuinely invested in the real-life ramifications, this is one saga we'll all be talking about for a while. That's a wrap on our backward deep dive. If you're as fascinated as I am by this unfolding legal story and its broader implications for showbiz, Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Amber Tamblyn's outspoken support will make a difference in Blake Lively's case? And how might this impact the future roles of Justin Baldoni in Wayfarer Studios? Stay tuned, keep the conversation going, and I'll catch you all in the next video.